Welcome to this stateless code video, and it is once again retrospective time. So at regular intervals, the team, even a team of one, inspects its behavior, looks for opportunities to get better, tunes its behavior accordingly. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. We'll start by reviewing kind of the set of things that were produced since the previous retro. So back in February of 2025, I did my first retro. It's called the Prodigal Retro Returns because it was my first retrospective in like a year and a half. So we since then have produced 15 videos. I'm not counting the mediocre karaoke that we break out from the retro, but I built a computer for the first time back in February. So when I got my video card, I got an AMD Radeon 9070, and I figured I would create a video of setting up those drivers and everything, getting it working with my Ubuntu 2404 system. And that's received pretty good responses. Well, scroll so you can see it over my picture. So over 450 views, 100% likes out of 10. So that went pretty well. After that, I did my big end-to-end setup of my development environment video. And this one hasn't had all that much in the way of traffic. I think it probably would have gotten more total views if I'd split everything out. And I have done that before, and I might go back and do some of that. The one thing, if you haven't watched this video, there are some interludes with Mike from the future. And I had a short that I released that had the Mike from the future kind of portion trimmed down in kind of in a portrait style video rather than a landscape video. One thing I did do out of this, and I think this will come up in the retro, is I created my first GitHub gist out of this. So if you want to kind of go through and follow my steps for my environment setup, you can go, and if you don't want to watch a video, I've also got that as a GitHub gist with the actual commands that you can copy and paste into your computer. Following that, we did our annual, at least for now, annual maintenance on the Nerd Dice RubyGem. Upgraded that to be able to use Ruby 3.4. Did some other stuff on it. Let me continue to keep these things above my picture here. So that one, we again missed the deadline for renewing the gem signing certificate. So there was like a 2-week period where the gem wasn't signed. I'm sorry if you rely on the gem and needed it signed for those 2 weeks. It's back to being signed now. Then I went, and you can see this is the biggest video in terms of views that I've done. I had done this install of Balena Etcher for Ubuntu 2204. It somehow wound up being my highest viewed video ever. So I figured, what the heck, might as well update it to use Ubuntu 2404. And this also has more views than my coding videos. Did you just call me a view whore? That is not what's going on here. So I use this to kind of as a funnel, a pipeline to get people kind of eyeballs on the channel, and then hopefully they'll pick up some of the coding videos and start coding. Along those lines, I also did a setup a Samba file share video in the vein of setup and config. And then I did a series of 7 videos on the path to Rails 8. So I upgraded the nerddice.com Ruby on Rails app, which was on 7.0 and Ruby 3.2, went through upgraded from Ruby 3.2 to 3.4, upgraded Tailwind on the app from version 3 to version 4. That was probably my clunkiest video of the Path to Rails 8 series, but it also wound up being the highest viewed, at least so far. So, and then upgraded from 7.0 to 7.1, 7.1 to 7.2, 7.2 to 8.0. And then after kind of doing all those upgrades, I remediated a code coverage reporting issue on coveralls. I updated the GitHub Actions, and then I had a kind of end finale video where I went through and enabled all of the goodies that come with Rails 8 by default, but that you won't automatically get if you're upgrading an existing app. So I went and added in the solid trifecta, solid queue, solid cache, solid cable, added Kamal, added a Docker file, switched the asset pipeline from sprockets to prop shaft, and then added in the thruster gem. There may have been one or two other things done in that video. It was quite the set of things to all cram into one video. And that video was, if I left it uncut as I had been doing kind of from start of this channel until recently, that would have been like an hour and 10 minute, hour and 11 minute video. So what I did was about halfway through this retrospective, this cycle of videos that I'm doing the retrospective on, I discovered what I call the way of the waveform. So you can see, if you're interested in how I used OpenShot to cut 30 minutes of dead air out of that Rails 8 goodies video, then you can check that out. I will touch on that some more in the retro. And then kind of a meta. So both of these are in my kind of behind the scenes playlist I call How the Sausage is Made. So we did the way of the waveform that was about editing this, add the remaining Rails 8 goodies video. And then we had our first meta How the Sausage was Made video where I added an overlay on top of, I was exporting the video and I did a little kind of pitch for stateless code and sped up the video underneath and had me talking over it. And so I did what was, I had the normal speed video of me in the corner combined with the sped up version of the export. And we'll see in the retro part of things that didn't go perfectly, but we leave the mistakes in the videos. Let's see here. We'll take a closer look at Gortash here over my shoulder, but the artist there is my daughter, jmorpart. You can go to this linktree /jmorpart, or you can just type in jmorp.com and it will redirect you to this linktree. So now let's take a look at the action items from our previous retro where we featured Baldur's Gate 3. So we've got get back on track. I feel pretty good that we've done that. We're doing better now. Is that a portent of things to come? Mayhaps. Upgraded the recording sound, or upgrade the recording sound was the action item, and I did upgrade the recording sound. So I went from having and I may have done this in the retro itself, or it happened almost immediately right around the time I did the last retro. I had a kind of directional, almost like podcasting mic that I had been doing, and the audio quality just wasn't great on that. So I got a lavalier mic, and that's what I've been using since then. I believe that the audio quality of the videos has improved significantly since then. Tighten up the editing. I think I knocked that out of the park in terms of especially kind of the second half of the videos that we had in that were covered by this retro. Might want to modify the video and make it shorter to reduce the video intro. Yes, so you can see at the beginning we no longer have the Hack the Stateless Code jingle that I ripped off from 7 Bridges Road by the Eagles. That is now at the end of the video so that I don't scare people away with singing the first 7 seconds of the video. So we went and I went into music notation program and threw together 3 chords, and now I've got that. So it's got 3-second, if that, intro compared to 10 seconds of me singing that not everybody, that's an acquired taste that's sometimes never acquired. So, and then figure out what to do next. I think we did a pretty good job at that. I mean, it was still kind of a potpourri of stuff. So it wasn't all a set of focus videos all on one topic. It was some setup videos. It was upgrade Rails from 7 to 8 videos. It was my RubyGem maintenance video, and a couple of how the sausage is made videos. So I think we managed on that. Now let's take a look at this retro. And the theme for it is my all-time favorite movie, The Princess Bride. And we'll get to why I chose this for this particular retro as we go through things. So let's start and take a look at what went well. So there was a big reduction in ums and uhs. I've gotten better at pausing while I think of the next word rather than filling it with an or an ah. And that also played in on itself and made the video editing easier. So we've already talked about discovering the way of the waveform. That is, I think, a pretty big advancement in terms of my video editing, where the videos are tighter. I still get to leave the mistakes in the videos, but things like where an error happens and it takes me a few seconds to process it, that is, you don't need to see that. So we're cutting that out. And there are a few times where I'm kind of, and I try not to do it all that more. I'm kind of like max headroom, where like I'll just kind of shift a little bit when the video cuts, but I feel like that's a price that most people are willing to pay for a tighter video. Ooh, look who knows so much. So the setup in config videos, except for the end-to-end setup one, as I noted earlier, all performed well, got a lot of views. The Boolean Etcher one, as we can see, was already up over 1,000, 1,200. Want you to feel you're doing well. I created my first GitHub gist to go along with that end-to-end setup video. I'll probably also create one for my RubyGem maintenance that I do every so often. That will be helpful to me as well when I come back and do it, instead of trying to remember, all right, what was the process I followed to maintain this gem? Now I've got it kind of a reference that I can go back to. And then we upgraded nerddice.com to Rails 8. So that's where what went well. Now let's take a look at what didn't go well. And let me see if I can, there we go. We can hide the forms here. Stop taking up that real estate. That's what didn't go well. Had these forms sitting here in my retro. Maybe I should just quit. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. Boo is right. So I missed the Nerd Dice RubyGem certificate renewal again by over 2 weeks. Dobby's going to iron his hands again. And then in the video where I was talking about where I was trying to do the overlay over the sped up video, I fell victim to one of the classic blunders, the most famous of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this: never try to edit a video from the video preview pane in OpenShot. I am alive. That was just acting. Acting. Anyway, yeah, if you're ever doing something in OpenShot and you need to edit something, use the tools and the effects and all that stuff. Never try to edit something on the video preview panel. Just don't. There will be suffering. And then I thought the Mike from the Future video was pretty hilarious, but it didn't get much in the way of views. It's absolutely, positively inconceivable. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. And then kind of the flip side of the editing the videos better, the overhead of producing each video has gone up now that I edit them better. So it kind of slows down my production of videos, and I'm spending more time editing, less time coding. So there's a trade-off there. I'm getting more productive at it, so hopefully it will become less of an annoyance. And then I'm starting to get used to disappointment. So Retro.io's user experience kind of continues to degrade. So they keep just taking normal features and being like, oh, that's a premium feature. So I think I might be in the market for another retro facilitation tool. We'll see whether that happens next retro or not. Tune in. Got you on the edge of your seat. And then finally, action items. We are men of action. Lies do not become us. So, as noted just a second ago, keep finding ways to be more productive in editing my videos. And then at this point, I'm just trying to find more, throw in on as many Princess Bride gifts as I can. I noted create a GitHub gist for my RubyGem maintenance procedure. So that will hopefully be forthcoming fairly soon. I just talked about exploring other retro options. And then who knows what else. If you've got ideas for how stateless code can be better, hit us up in the comments. If this type of thing amuses you or you got benefit out of it, please hit us with a like and subscribe. So that concludes the retro portion of the retro. We'll take a closer look at Gortash, and then, as alluded to earlier, the Mediocre Karaoke will be Better Now by Collective Soul. Thanks for watching. Gortash, the chosen of Bane, the god of tyranny. Where did you go wrong, Mike, as a parent, that your daughter would draw such a thing? I thought you were a libertarian. Well, he's an interesting and compelling character. And my daughter didn't vote for an actual politician this past election cycle, so, like, don't fuss at us for drawing pictures of tyrants that are fictional if you support a real one. That's all I gotta say about that. You can follow her on her link tree. You can go to jmorp.com and follow her on Instagram at j.morp_art, and be on the lookout for more art coming your way from JMorp Art, who graduated from our homeschool last month. Congratulations. In the retrospective, I noted that we got back on track by producing more consistent and frequent content, and I felt it only fitting given the rocky terrain. I mean, only fitting given the retrospective that I sing Better Now by Collective Soul. Although one thing that hasn't gotten better now is my singing, so you can press stop now. Better Now comes from Collective Soul's 2004 album Youth. It's the first track on the album, and it is they released that on their own label, which was EL Music Group, and I think is now Fuzzy Flex Records. I'll get it right in the show notes. Anyway, here you go. I think when we come back, we'll both agree that it's not better now. One more thing to note is that sometimes I'll do a different track singing the backing vocals. The instrumental track that I've got here has the backing vocals already in it, so I'm not going to go and do that. However, I can't guarantee that I'm not going to throw in my own little woo 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 when it comes to that point. So. Oh, I'm newly calibrated, all shiny and clean. I'm your recent adaptation, time to redefine me. Get the word out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Break the news out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Woo. Oh, I'm happy as Christmas, all wrapped to be seen. I'm your recent acquisition, time to celebrate me. Let the word out, I've got to get out. Oh, I'm feeling better now. Break the news out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better. The world's done shaking, the world's done shaking, the world's done shaking me down. The world's done shaking, the world's done shaking, the world's done shaking me down. Woo! Let the word out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Break the news out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Let the word out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Break the news out, I've got to get out. Whoa, I'm feeling better now. Well, I guess in certain ways this was better. The audio and video stayed in sync, and compared to some of my other mediocre karaoke performances, this was top half, I would say. I guess it is better now. You could say better than what? That's kind of the old joke about The Economist. Do you love your wife? Well, compared to what? Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Code along on an end-to-end journey through the creation, design, and development of a Ruby on Rails application for managing tabletop role-playing games. We start from Rails new and will guide you along the journey of the entire lifecycle of the application. You'll get to see real-life, real-world problems and challenges as we try to deliver value for our users. Visit statelesscode.com to level up. Thanks for watching this Stateless Code video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and spread the word. Check out our growing library of videos on our social media channels. Follow us at Stateless Code, and taxation is theft. The Stateless Code.